Hi, I'm Donna Peak, the VP of Global Alliances at Genpact, and I've been on the board of directors at ASAP for quite some time, and I'm going to do a little talk here about 7 habits of highly effective alliance managers. So it's hard to come up with 7 because there are quite a few skill sets that alliance professionals need to have to be effective, but these are the 7 that I think are the most important to be an effective alliance manager. First one I have is being curious, which is actually a proxy for having critical or strategic thinking skills, because it's hard to be a critical thinker if you are the opposite of curious, which is arrogant, meaning you think that you have all the information, there's nothing new that you can learn. A big part of this job is asking a lot of questions, not just about the company that you're interested in partnering with, but also about the people that you're engaged with, understanding their motivations, their background, their fears, their hopes. And the best way to do that is just kind of have a curious mindset and ask a lot of questions so that you learn and establish a good foundational knowledge and understanding of what it is you're going to need to be dealing with to form the alliance relationship. Second habit I have is conflict management, and those of you who have been in this game for a long time are probably high-fiving at this point, because conflict is inevitable when you're forging or developing or just in any long-standing alliance relationship. Things happen, and managing conflict both within your own organization and also between your organization and the partner is something that is inevitable. And good alliance managers who are skilled at conflict management can actually use conflict as a way to build trust and enhance the relationship. So conflict managed well can actually enhance the relationship and build trust with the partner. Third skill I have is organizational and political savvy. So alliance management is about getting things done through others. And in order to do that, you have to have a good understanding of your organization and where the power is and who the key players are and who can say no, who can say yes, and just the political dynamics of your own organization. And what makes alliance management challenging and also exciting to me is that not only do you have to understand that within your own organization, but you also have to figure that out within the partner organization. Same things you have to figure out internally, you have to have an understanding of at the partner organization. So being able to navigate that and work with a counterpart at the other company so that you can both help each other navigate that is really, really important in alliance management. Fourth one I have kind of relates to the other one is influencing without authority. So as alliance managers, we are wholly dependent on organizations outside of our own in order to make things happen. We depend on attorneys and marketing people and finance people and pre-sales people and consultants and implementations and product management people. So we're constantly navigating across the organization in order to bring resources and things to bear in the exploratory phase of a partnership and also on the ongoing development and management of a partnership. And so being able to influence people that don't work for us is really important. And in order to do that, you have to walk and operate with a certain level of personal power, which means you have to operate with integrity. You have to be able to influence people, be persuasive, have passion about what it is that you're doing, because those are skills that are necessary to influence others, and that's a big, almost job number one of alliance managers. The fifth is I have is an entrepreneurial kind of mindset. You've always heard statistics about the high failure rates of alliances. And my perspective on that is that I'm actually not surprised, because I spent some time in my career in the startup world, and the startup world also has a high rate of failure. And what the two have in common is that you're creating something new. So the reason why you're partnering with another organization is because they're offering something that you can't do on your own. The reason why you're starting up a new company is because you see an opportunity in the market that's not being served already by a company, so you're starting something new. And whenever you're starting something new, it's inherently risky, and sometimes even with your best efforts, startups fail. So I'm not surprised by that, but having an entrepreneurial mindset means that you're thinking about things with a startup mentality. You're thinking about, okay, how am I going to approach attacking this market? What are the things that I'm going to need to do to be successful in attacking this market? Why will they buy from me? What's the compelling reason to buy? What's the joint value proposition? What's in it for clients? Why would they pick me or this alliance relationship over other alternatives, even if one of those alternatives is doing nothing? And so having that kind of entrepreneurial mindset is really helpful in our roles as alliance managers. The sixth skill that I have is leadership and change management. So being an alliance manager is really about being a strong leader, because you're leading the organization through change. You're leading a combined organization. And there's a great quote from Seth Godin. If you don't know Seth Godin, I encourage you to subscribe to his blog. He has excellent commentary, and he's written a number of best-selling books on marketing and business development. He's just fantastic. But anyway, he talks about leadership this way: that a leader is the pathfinder, able to get from here to there, to connect in service of a goal, setting an agenda, working in the dark, going new places, and tackling unknowable obstacles. And if that doesn't describe an alliance manager, I don't know what does. But that's a description of leadership. If you think about what we do day to day, that's a wonderful skill set that we bring to the table as alliance managers. And since, as I mentioned before, that alliance management is about a change and starting something up new, navigating through change and encouraging people to change, and setting a vision for why they should change is a big part of being an effective alliance manager. And then my last skill, so counting backwards, so this would be the number one skill that I believe an alliance manager needs to have, is execution skill, knowing how to get things done. And a good colleague of mine from Vantage Partners, Stu Kleiman, always says that alliance management is an execution capability, and that always resonated with me. And there's also a great post from Seth Godin. If you just go to his blog and you Google Understanding Business Development, you'll pull up this post. It's a fantastic post about what we do all the time, every day. And he's got a great section in here about execution. And it says, if you're going to be bringing new partners and new ideas into your organization, you need a process to do it. Professionals don't know it when I see it. Instead, professionals think about the abilities of their company and strategies necessary to bring ideas in, refine them, and launch them. Great business development people, which is us, don't waste time in endless meetings with random vendors or hassle about tiny details up front. Instead, they have an agenda and a project manager's understanding of what it means to get things done. They don't keep the process a secret either. They share it with anyone who wants to know. Someone needs to say, here's how we do things around here, and then they have to tell the truth. And if you think about what we do as alliance managers, that's a perfect setup for it, because nothing happens unless you have a plan and you execute against that plan. And you have to, part of that is knowing in advance who has to say yes. So in alliance management, and if you're on the business development side of things where you're getting incoming requests to partner into your organization, you will realize that there's no shortage of ideas out there. So there's plenty of ideas. What there is a shortage of is execution. And as alliance managers, our role is to sort through all the ideas, even if you're just working with one alliance relationship, you're trying to figure out what it is you're going to go to do together, and you're going to throw a bunch of things against the wall. And what alliance manager is doing is trying to figure out the most prospective of those things against the wall. What are the ones that are most likely to succeed, and what is it going to take to make it happen? Because nothing happens until you sell something. And we're forming these alliance relationships with the goal of driving revenue, pipeline, expanding the reach of the company that we work for. So there's always a goal around the alliance relationship, and our role as alliance professionals is to unleash that potential and that value proposition and execute to deliver that value. So that's my list of top 7 habits of highly effective alliance managers.